Correspondence 16-148. Correspondence from Councilor David J regarding discussion and possible action on continued complaints from residents in the Algonquin Compression Station related to noise.
Still like to move over.
I'm sorry, what?
Motion to open.
Oh.
Second.
A motion open and second. All in favor? Aye. Yes.
So I wasn't aware of John's motion to just to refer the specific item in terms of the ordinance and the abutters. My discussion, I wanted to do more general and broad-based. I remember Mrs. Woods bringing that that recording to the meeting at the lodge. And since then, also going back, Mr. Sherman, we've been discussing the noise up there for quite some time. And I remember them telling us that they were going to be doing something about it. And they actually, I think at the meeting, we went up to tour the place. They said it was probably going to get quieter after they had finished the construction. And I've been up and parked outside that location a couple of times since, and it hasn't gotten quieter. And I think it's time that the council refer this to the administration to start doing some research to see, what it is that we can do to start having an impact up there, because they're obviously not paying attention to us, and as far as I'm concerned, they lied to us when we went up there and said it was going to be quieter.
Previously?
No, I want to get stronger. I mean, this is just talking about notifying people when they're going to blow it off. I'm talking about the regular noise that goes on up there. I mean,
I asked that the solicitor look into amending our noise ordinances about so that we can.
Oh, we couldn't hear you.
Sir, we only have one microphone tonight.
I asked that the solicitor, on my motion, that the solicitor look into amending the possibility of amending the noise ordinances within the town itself, which would possibly affect the noises that are coming now. The administration, if you wish, could work with the solicitor.
Hear, hear.
That was the entire intention of my motion, is that the administration start to research to figure out, to get them to, come in, maybe not come into compliance, but at least start to have more of a respect for the people that live up there.
We're being held.
Move to ask the administration and the solicitor to look into the possibility of not only amending the noise ordinance, but working with Algonquin to see if there's a way to mitigate the current noise levels.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Oh.
Something more to say. I still, in the noise sensitivity area, #1 woman, Kathy Sherman. My question is there any grandfather clauses for Algonquin not to have to comply with our noise ordinance?
The way presently our noise ordinance is written, which was written many years ago, was that any facility that is governed or permitted by the federal government or by the state takes precedence over our noise ordinance.
Thank you. And I understand that, and that's the purpose of my question. So the Environmental Protection Agency noise level is 55 decibels, which is well above the town's ordinance, which Algonquin still cannot adhere to. Their own documents, ladies and gentlemen, I have not had to make up one thing. I hadn't had to look anywhere but their own words. As lawyers say, let the document speak for itself. The information I read to you came from their document. Their noise levels are over 55 decibels. What I'm asking specifically, because there seems to be a little confusion, that the town consider imposing not only the noise ordinance that they must be held accountable for, and if that's the 55 decibel, then that, that's life, that's democracy. But they have to be held accountable, and they have to be fined if they go above that. You need to look into how, that's all that matters to these people, money. That's all that matters. And I don't know how to pronounce your last name either, so I'll call you Mr. Ole. So if you need any of the research that I have, I've actually had to hire an attorney. My attorney is John Bainhart. I've had to hire an attorney to deal with Algonquin. This is unacceptable.
It's so unfair.
It is unfair. It is unfair. But I'm not going to have my husband die of a heart attack because of the noise. And as Ava says, what are they admitting into the air when they do these blow-offs? My husband is a 100% disabled veteran from Vietnam. He did not come home from Vietnam 100% disabled. He became disabled 30 years later after the exposure of Agent Orange riddled through his body. That's why he's disabled. And haven't we learned anything about admitting chemicals into the air, whether it be Algonquin or in Venergy, and the long-term health effects?
Mrs. Sherman, I understand what you're saying. I answer to the council. Whatever the council votes for me to do, I shall do.
And I know you will. I appreciate it. And I appreciate it's been a year. I've been doing this for a year. And I understand that hands can be tied. I'm not here to criticize anyone. I truly do appreciate everything. But now it's time that we step it up and we really hold these companies accountable. We have this noise. I know Steve's been there. I know people have been in front of my house. I have offered anyone who wants to come and sit in my property and listen to the noise. I'm actually considering hiring an acoustical person to record it so you can truly hear it when it's bad. And when it's really bad, it's usually 10 p.m. to 4 a.m., 5 a.m. That's when the noise is the worst. Maybe it's because it's quiet, but the noise is unbearable, and I appreciate all your efforts. Thank you for the clarification. I know they have to be held.
I think there's support on the council to look into this further, Mr. Sherman, and I know a number of the council members here, including myself, have been up there, been into the facility, specifically asked them about the abutter notices. We've gone in there in person, right in front. I know that, I can't remember who was there, Kim, maybe Steve, Dave, John. We were there specifically in person requesting that they up their game with notification, either through emails, through letters. As far as the noise ordinance, that's something we will most likely here refer to the solicitor and the administration to look into. But you need to understand with the way FERC operates, even if we look into this and we want to ratchet up the pressure on them, we still may be superseded by the federal noise ordinances or the state ordinances, which, as in the case of Energy, can supersede our local ordinances. So, I mean, we will do what we can, but please understand that even if the solicitor comes up with some options with the administration and it's approved by the council, it's the same thing as in Energy.
I understand the process. I've been living the process.
I know you do.
I truly
I know you do.
understand the process. And what all I'm asking is that you try to do something.
We're happy to do that.
Here's my other option. And Ole can tell you whether or not this option is the true option.
No, I mean,
they can be permitted for whatever they want to be permitted for. You can make them be whatever they want to be, just like in Energy. But they do not have a right to impact on my property rights, my value, my enjoyment of my property. Now that would be a civil suit that I would have to have my attorney file. But what I'm asking you, before I have to do that, to take whatever action you can, because I don't think it's fair for any, and it's not the noise just at my house. And just because my husband and I and one other neighbor has chose to be interveners and pay our money in the Energy project, doesn't mean that the other house is unaffected. So all I'm asking is that you try and do something. Maybe some communication from the attorney for Burrillville to FERC. You have open comment period. Write a letter to FERC. Make the position of the town known. I'm one person. I can write to FERC. Sure I can. I can call Kimberly Bose and don't think I have it. But I'm one person. With the power behind you, with the power behind me, and the solicitor writing to the FERC, giving it a position that is not acceptable for your town, they may listen. That's all my point.
Stephanie Slman, 387 Courthouse Lane again. I just wanted to answer the last woman that spoke. 45,000 tons of natural gas a year are being emitted to the atmosphere from that compression station. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a very short comment. I'm a bit confused at this point as to what is before the council, but I think that it's necessary to do a full-blown review of the town's noise ordinance with a view to council coming back with recommendations for changes that would bring it up to date. The council mentioned that it goes back about 20 years, whatever. The noise ordinance, as I read it, was designed for residential problems. Kids with horns in the neighborhood, blowing them off, and maybe it happens in 2 apartments that are next to one another, so you can add the noise up and say that they're violating the noise ordinance. Noise ordinance was really not designed as currently drafted for this kind of a problem, where we have at least 2 users, potentially the new power plant, clearly the compressor station, generating what I would call double noise. In addition to that, I think that it's important to keep in mind that the disturbance that causes is a nighttime disturbance more than a daytime disturbance. And so if there needs to be some differentiation, looking at it from a FERC standpoint, my brief conversations with FERC people, now I concede I'm dealing with people that are at a lower level, but my brief conversations with them has led me to believe that they're quite welcoming comments by entities like the town. They're more than willing to take them into consideration. They expressed to me a great concern that there might be a compressor station out there that's exceeding their limitations, and apparently we have that. So I wouldn't look at the feds as being an enemy in this. I think you need to get them involved, and I respectfully suggest that a portion of this resolution also mandate that council or the town manager or the 2 of them get in touch with FERC, explain the town's position to them with facts, within the comment period, so that they can come to the party to try to find a resolution to this.
Jan Luby again, Sales Avenue. Just for clarification, we have a town noise ordinance, but that's out the window when it comes to Spectra or Invenergy. Is there a limit that, like right now on Spectra, are they supposed to keep it under a certain decibel? Is it 5? What is it now?
I don't know what Spectra places a limit upon. I'm sorry, what FERC placed.
Okay.
I'm not certain as to what the limit is that FERC placed on Spectra. I heard Mrs. Sherman say was 55.
According to their document, you're correct.
Okay, so 55. So what I'm wondering is, I know they're planning another expansion, and I'm wondering if, we could talk to FERC about not granting that expansion if they can't even keep to what they're supposed to now. I mean, they might listen then,
There's an item on the agenda specifically referring to the request from FERC about the expansion.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor in a second. We have a second? All in favor? Aye.